There's a kind of silence that wins worse, the kind that doesn't flinch in the face of arrogance. The year was 1940. Winston Churchill, Britain's Prime Minister and a master of words, sat across from a sharp-tongued noblewoman. Looking at him with disdain, she said, "If you were my husband, I'd poison your tea." Churchill didn't blink. He smiled and replied, "Madam, if you were my wife, I'd drink it." He didn't shout. He didn't sulk. He didn't try to prove anything. He remained composed and devastated. That, my friend, is how to handle narcissistic and arrogant people. People who think they're better, smarter, louder, or more important than everyone else, especially you. Whether they're your colleague, your boss, your in-law, or even your friend, the strategy is the same. Don't feed the ego, don't fight the mask. On today's episode of Say It Well, we shall be looking at different ways of dealing with narcissistic people. Let's take some 5 important principles that we must remember. Number 1, be calmly unimpressed. Arrogant people crave reaction. They want anytime they say something to you for you to be reactive, to act impulsively. The louder they boast, the more they want you to awe. So deny them that. Suffocate them from that. Don't clap, don't compete, don't try to outshine them. Instead, just say, "That's interesting." Or even better, So after the person is done putting up a show, trying to impress you with words, trying to make you look unimportant, okay, that's interesting. He said something that they didn't agree with, and they go on giving you a lot of facts, giving you a lot of statistics, giving you historic contents. Just tell them, "That's interesting to me." Now, you're being disengaged, respectful, but utterly unbothered. I'll give you an example of that. When Napoleon of France, when he met the Duke of Wellington, he tried to intimidate him with stories of past victories. Napoleon's stories of past victories. Wellington simply looked at him and said, "You may have won many battles, but you, my dear sir, you haven't fought me yet." No shouting, just grounded confidence. Point number 2, ask neutral, disarming questions. Narcissists often exaggerate or lie, but calling them out directly, that only escalates things. Instead, ask calm, factual question. I'll give you an example. So I was once working with this girl who came to my team, not the Quintillian, but somebody I was working for in the past. And she was very narcissistic, she was very authoritative, despite the fact that I was her senior, but I had to submit some of my projects to her to review before it gets posted. So this girl would wake up every morning and try to give me tasks upon tasks, even things that were not part of my agreement. And so I told her one time, I said, "Could we arrange for someone else to do the long interviews?" And she was like, "No, we don't have a budget for that, just use your phone." And I asked her very calmly, I said, "Could you clarify exactly what you mean by we? Are you speaking on behalf of yourself, or are you speaking on behalf of the organization?" And then she went on blabbering, "Let me send you a long voice note." She sent like a 3-minute voice note blabbering. I did not answer her until after 2 days. I was like, interesting. We'll see how we can work on that. I did not waste my time trying to shout at her, trying to argue with her. I just asked her a simple question. So when people usually come at you at being very narcissistic, try to ask them questions that are very calm and they never would have expected. Right? "I believe that this and that. I believe that the best way to do this is this. I've tried it before. It has worked. Blah, 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 blah." Interesting. So could you take us through how you arrived at that conclusion? Now you've taken them off guard. Absolutely. You're not accusing. You're bringing reality back into the conversation without drama. Point number 3, set boundaries with grace. They'll interrupt. They'll dominate, they'll overshare. You must learn the power of quiet redirection. Say, for example, I'd love to revisit this, but I have something better to do. So how about if we talk about it later? So you're talking to them and they're not listening. They're just trying to be self-opinionated. They're trying to interrupt you. They want you to listen to them, but they're not willing to listen to you. In situations like that, when your conversations get to a dead end, just simply say, maybe this isn't the best time to talk about this issue. How about if we talk about it later? Right? Or, for example, I'm this, I'm that, keep talking and talking and talking. I suggest that we pick up this conversation some other time when the both of us will have sufficient time to go through it. I don't think we're both in the best position to have this discussion right now. These things narcissists don't expect because not everybody does it to them. So you want to make sure you set clear boundaries with the words you say and try to postpone conversations that they are not willing to listen to you to some other time. For example, Michelle Obama once said, "When they go low, we go high." That includes walking away when the conversation has turned toxic, which is exactly what I talked about in my last episode. I said when conversations are getting disrespectful and you simply cannot tolerate it anymore, you should walk away. Number 4, keep your face still. Your expression should not feed their performance. Sometimes when somebody's trying to exaggerate things, they're trying to assert authority and dominance, you keep looking at them with some level of awe. Like, I'm really enjoying what you're saying. But if you just look at them absolutely unimpressed, like you don't really care, then it begins to make them ruminate over what they're saying at the moment, and it brings their confidence to an all-time low. Psychologists call it the neutral confident face. The neutral confident face. It's not cold, it's not fake, it's just calm. No excessive smiling, no eye rolling, no raised eyebrows, just still, observant, and slightly amused. Think Queen Elizabeth in front of controversy, poised, unmoved, and absolutely in control. And then finally, you need to say less and mean more. When you do speak, let your words be few, but strong. Arrogant people expect either flattery or fights. Give them neither. Say things like, "You have a strong opinion, I respect that. We'll have to agree to disagree." Or the ultimate one-word power, noted. So they've sent you a 6-minute voice note complaining, noted. That really breaks their ego. So the goal is not to crush the arrogant. The goal is to remain unshaken, untouched, unbothered by their ego games. Because in the end, people reveal more about themselves than you ever need to point out. So say it well with poise, precision, and presence. Because true power never has to prove itself. This is all for today, Impeccables, and see you in the next one.